Hi everyone, I'm Josh and welcome to Josh Wright Piano TV. Today I want to look at two passages that I notice gives a lot of students trouble. I've taught these pieces many times over the years and I've performed both of them, and I remember these were tough for me too. The two pieces are just the opening bars of the second Chopin Scherzo, and then this sonata, the Mozart Sonata in F major K332. This little passage right here. Students really have a hard time. They kind of flub that, or that happens. Same thing on the scherzo. They tend to mush that. And I wanted to address bigger motions to help your small micro movements. In both of these passages, you absolutely need finger precision. I talk a lot in my videos about practicing finger staccato. Just activating those fingertips. I don't care who you are, you do need active fingertips if you're going to play precise on the piano. But so many of us end up isolating our fingers, and I think I've even posted a video called Don't Isolate Your Fingers or something like that quite a while ago. But I wanted to go over some bigger motions with these two particular passages, and hopefully it can be inspiration for you to incorporate bigger motions in other passages of your playing. Having said that, I don't think that there is a cookie cutter way to determine every passage that looks like this is gonna do this. I think different hands will feel things differently. There's going to be different unlocks for different hands. So one motion might work really well for certain students and it might not work well for other students. I've just noticed that a lot in my teaching and in my own playing. I noticed that sometimes if I'm thinking of this type of rotation, or if I go in or back out or whatever it might be, sometimes those motions will give me differing results, and I'll tell my student, hey, you got to do it like this. This helped me, and they can't get it. And I'm like, think about it this way, and it immediately unlocks it. So I'm going to show you a couple of different, hopefully a couple different possibilities with these two passages. I'll give you the ones that work for me, but we can also discuss some other things. So in this passage, we have that right there. The first thing that gives students a lot of trouble is they have a hard time going from there to there. So my first piece of advice is to play up off the key, okay? Now, if you don't want to make it obvious that you're not connecting it like Chopin asked you to, just stay right there. It still kind of looks like I'm on the, connected down in the key, but if a judge is at a competition watching you and you do this versus this, can you tell much difference? Watch again. This is holding it. This is letting it go. It's very tiny. I don't think they're gonna see it. What letting it go allows you to do, it allows you to kind of reset your hand and get that really clear, okay? So what I want you to first do is grab each key, okay? Just to get the fingers lined up. Beyond that though, I want you to be thinking of the bigger motion. Does your hand feel good going in? So that works for some students. For some students, it's more of a rotation to the right. So there, and then I kind of think of rotating this way to the left so that I can rotate back the other way. Okay? Other students, it's just the opposite. They'll go in and then they'll pull back and then just kind of lean forward or go toward the fall board with their wrists. That's the one I tend to really like. But to be completely honest, I'm definitely doing some of that motion as well. So you combine that with your finger action. So again, you don't want to just do, because I know that was a crappy example. That was on purpose. I totally messed that up on purpose. Let me actually try really hard this time by isolating the fingers. It works, but it's hard and it's tight. And sometimes they're not exactly together. Whereas if I assign bigger motions, wow, that's easy. I can do that over and over again. Also, I like a little flatter finger on this flat. I don't like to be really sharp. Sharp does give you a certain clarity, but that right there, my joints, I don't like to ever tell students to completely collapse the joint to that extreme, but my joint's pretty flat. It might even be collapsed a little right there. Okay, but it helps to keep me really loose there. Something that Sergei Babayan told me when I took this to him, he said up and then up, up, up. That worked brilliantly for me, but I noticed it didn't always work for my students, okay? So what I have had to tell my students is up and kind of come forward, and then as you come here and you're coming back up, it's this swiping motion like that. So the reason you need those bigger muscles on that, because it's very tricky, I think. Maybe I just, never trained this as a young kid or something, but doing 4-2-3-5, that could be finicky. And under pressure, that might fall apart for me. Do something like that. You can always do like a little micro bounce, ba-bum, to ensure that. But why not do a big relaxed motion? So it's going forward and then it's going back. So oh, that was terrible. So there we go. I was just, again, doing maybe a little too much fingers and not following this curve, this little semicircle. And sure enough, that works really well. That feels pretty loose in there. Okay, I do need to make a pro practice tutorial on this at some point. I will do that. I know a lot of you have asked for this piece in particular over the years, but you can watch recordings of both this and my second scherzo on YouTube if you're interested. But I just have noticed as I've taught these, it's even helped me in my playing of them, because I'm thinking now like those even bigger motions. I mean, I did a bit of that obviously when I was learning it, but having taught it, I was like, wow, that helped even more to have my student do it like this or like that. The methods that we discussed today in today's video really loosened up the students, and it gave them more confidence, especially when they're going in more rapid tempos or tempi. If any of you have any questions, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. I try to answer as many of those emails as I can. I don't get to all of them, so please forgive me if I'm not able to get to every single one, but I do try to keep in contact with my audience as much as possible. I will leave a few links in the description below. My first link is a free webinar containing 10 of my favorite tips to help take your playing to a higher level. These are tips I use every day in my practice and in my teaching. I'll leave 2 links to my paid courses if you'd like to go even deeper than this channel goes over with repertoire or exercises. I even have something called the VIP Masterclass series where students write in requests and I answer them in a video format each week. And then finally, I have a link for my whole gear kit, everything in this studio that I use for Zoom and Skype lessons, for recording things for my online courses, for doing podcasts, for doing these YouTube videos. So I hope that's a valuable resource if any of you are wanting to do any of that in your own studios. Have a great week. Good luck in your practice sessions.